All right, I promise you by the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 most important reasons why success does not guarantee fulfillment for women, for professional women in their late 40s, 50s, and 60s. And before we get started, I want you to know that I developed an amazing 20 to 25 minute self-development workbook that I think you're really going to enjoy spending that time with yourself to get to know yourself better. It's really the first step on this journey of getting to know yourself and who you are and what it is that you need at this point in midlife, or what I call the second half shift. So check in the description and you'll see the link so you can get that and get started on it as soon as possible. The number one reason as to why success does not guarantee fulfillment is that success, first of all, a lot of times is measured by other people. It's measured by standards put by other people, and we inherit those naturally. If you'll think back whenever you were younger, what is it that you were either taught literally or just taught by living in your family, your church, your community, in school, society, and your culture? What is it that you were taught meant success? So for me, and I think we'll probably think a lot alike here, is that success for me growing up was go to college, find a partner, have children, live a happy life, and you'll be successful, okay? I mean, it's not that that has been bad in those areas. I'm successful, you're successful too as a midlife professional woman. You're successful in your career or in your business. You have had or have a relationship with a partner or husband. You've raised your kids. They're now becoming or have become already independent. So on paper, you're successful because these are the standards, these are the norms that have been given to pretty much all of us in the Western world since we were young. Be good, be responsible, be nice. These are all parts of what we were taught is being successful or having a good life, right? But that doesn't necessarily guarantee fulfillment. I mean, you could even look at some people who have been highly successful, even rock stars. I know you can think of some rock stars that have been, successful on paper, but yet their lives have ended in a very bad way. You may know some people personally, I do too, that, on paper their lives were great, but they didn't end great. So as a successful professional woman that you are, you have your family, you have your personal life, but fulfillment is not guaranteed by society's norms, right? You're not guaranteed to be content, to be satisfied inside just because of your, on paper life of your profession and your personal life, right? How you are satisfied inside is by your own standards. You get to choose. You may not have for the first half of your life, but now that you're going through midlife, you're now realizing that, some of those standards that were put on you when you were younger, that those don't now fit who you are or fit who you're becoming. And that's okay. I want you to know that that is okay. That is why you're starting to question. You're starting to have this feeling inside that something is not right. And one of those reasons is probably this, that the norms and the standards that you were put under in the first half of your life, probably unknowingly, now in the second half of your life just don't fit. But that's the freedom of going through this journey, is knowing that you can change those, that you have the possibility to change those standards and to make your own standards, your own norms through your own values and what it is that you enjoy and that you want. So reason number 2, success is focused on what you do, but fulfillment is focused on who you are and who you're becoming. So let's look at success, especially in your professional life. So think at all of the accomplishments that you have in your professional career, in a company, or in your own business. What are those successes? You've probably, wanting for a long time promotion, and you were working for that promotion for a long time. And when you got that promotion, that was the end of that, of that success. That was something you succeeded in, but that was the end of it. It's something that you did. It had a starting point that you were going for that promotion. And when you received that promotion, that was already the end line. That was the finish line. So that's already done and gone. What else in your life have you succeeded in, and then there has been kind of an ending? It's like getting a degree, your undergraduate degree or your graduate degree. You started school, did the classes, projects, passed to be able to make the fulfillment for that degree, and then you finished that degree. You were successful in that degree. It had the beginning point and then the end point. What else in your life have you been successful in? A project at work, a new business that you've started, raising kids. That kind of has a beginning and end point, because once your kids are born, then you raise them until they become independent. And that's in a way the end point of you raising them. We still continue to raise them even if they don't live with us or they're independent, right? But when you get to that point, there is kind of an end point of when they become independent and they take on their own responsibilities and their own life. Another point that you may see as reaching is your financial prosperity. You've worked for a long time, you've been saving, and then you probably got to a certain point where you feel like, okay, yeah, I am financially prosperous. I have reached the point that I wanted to reach. Whether that may be the amount of money you make each year, or the amount of money you have in savings, or properties that you might have, or a car you might have, anything to do with finance or your economics. You've reached a certain point, and that's that finish point, and it stops. So why does that not guarantee fulfillment? Well, fulfillment is not based on what you have achieved. Fulfillment, that satisfaction in your life, is based on who you are and who you are becoming. There's not a beginning and end point to that. That's your daily journey. Those are the things that you do every day that are satisfying and that make you feel fulfilled. You've come to a point in your life, now in midlife, in your late 40s, 50s, 60s, that you're realizing that, okay, yes, you have been successful, and there is so much that you've been successful at. But now these questions and this feeling that's coming up is really about the fact that those successes have come to their completion. So it's like, what now? So now what is going to feel satisfying to you is getting to know yourself even more, who you are and who you are becoming. What is it that you now value in your life? What are the activities that you want to do? Is there another project that you're wanting to do that's going to give you satisfaction in the day-to-day? Not just the achievement of it, but give you that fulfillment, give you that enjoyment. Are there adventures? Are there trips that you want to take? Planning those trips, planning those adventures in itself is giving you that excitement, that satisfaction that you're yearning for at this point in your life. So the third reason that success does not necessarily guarantee fulfillment is that success in the first half of your life is really building that container for your life. It's building that structure. It's building that structure of education. You've gone to college, you have your degree. It's that structure of you having your career or your business. It's that structure of having a relationship with another person, of forming a family, of having children, raising children. But now fulfillment in the second half of your life, fulfillment is now filling up that container in different, more expanding ways inside that container and living the heck out of it. Now is the time for you to live the heck out of your life. It's to go on those adventures. It's to change your relationships, to improve your relationships, to perhaps say, to have closure on the relationships that don't benefit you anymore and let them be. You can think of, like Marie Kondo, the Marie Kondo method of, thanking that relationship for what it did give you, but letting it go and letting it be, and you continuing with perhaps even new relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, social relationships with people that you just go out with and have a good time with. Now is the time for you to have that fulfilling container that you've spent all of your life building. Now is the time that you get to enjoy it. There are so many ways that you can fill that container now and enjoy it. You have so many more years of life to live, hopefully. Hopefully I do too. And now is the time that you get to decide how is that going to be fulfilling for you. You get to decide, you get to take the time and decide really what are your values right now? What is it that you value? What are your assumptions as to what you would like your life to be right now? What do you want your life to be like? What do you want your daily life to be like? What do you want to do every day? What are the small things that make you happy? What are those small things? And do more of those. Who are the people that you love to be around? You can decide to plan and make plans to be with them and have so many more enjoyable experiences. You deserve this. You've built the whole first half of your life building your life. Now the second half of your life until it ends is the fulfillment part that you get to do if you decide to do it. Because the sad thing is there are some people that never get to this point. They don't start questioning their lives. They just continue like the first half of their life building that container, continuing to let their focus be on what other people or what society sees as successful. A bigger house that you have to spend more money on and you don't even have people to fill up the house. A bigger car, if you want those things, if they give you that deep level of satisfaction, then by all means do it. Just make sure that that's your decision to do that. Don't let that be society or other rules deciding that for you. Now is the time in your life, and through this second half shift, that you get to enjoy learning about yourself, getting to know yourself better on a super deep level. What is it at your core that gives you satisfaction? And to continue on this journey of really getting to know yourself and at your core, what really, really, really deep down makes you joyful. I've created this amazing, I think it takes between 20 and 25 minutes, the second half shift self-discovery workbook. And you'll see it in the description below. All you have to do is click on it. Download that, print it out, or if you'd rather do it on the computer, but I highly suggest you printing it out, because when you get pen to paper and you write down, it just goes on such a deeper level in your mind, even in your body, using your hand to write. You really get, I think, deeper answers when you print it out and do it by hand. But you can download it and type in your answers to it. But do that. You deserve to spend 20, 25 minutes continuing on this journey of getting to know yourself better. You deserve this. This is the time. This is the time during this second half shift. That's what I call it. Some people call it the midlife crisis, but I think it's an opportunity. It's a shift that if you're willing to be open to what it can give you, oh my gosh, it can give you so much more freedom and joy and happiness and contentment in your life. And it can help you get through those times of struggle, because you know that there are going to be times of struggle and hardship for us, for our family, for our loved ones. We know that's going to happen in the future. But when you set yourself up for the best possible situation you can be in, for the best way to carry out your days, then you will be ready for when those happen, and you'll be able to work through those a little bit easier. So I thank you for watching. I'd appreciate your comments, likes, subscribe, and importantly, to find this self-discovery workbook, download it. There's my dog Lulu coming in here. Hey Lulu. Download that and continue on your journey. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.